playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
And I'm here waiting for this update, Carl. I'm out.
Okay. Well, yeah. You're waiting for it. We're playing the stupid mission. I've already beaten the game. Going through some missions for the S rank. I'm probably not gonna be able to go to the S rank anyway, so we're in the Infinity Bandana. But yeah, let's just skip this bullshit. I'm not going through this right now. I'm gonna try to go into this mission without being seen or without getting any kills. Going full non-lethal here. Non-lethal. Just yep.
You know, I enjoyed a song by Taylor Swift in a minute.
Oh god.
Okay, I don't really want to hear it either.
So, I was playing, I covered Chimera by Interpol's again. Just because I wanted to. Because I was just messing around with the sound and I recorded it. And I sent to Camille.
Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead.
And she's like, ooh, I vibed this. And I'm like, yeah.
To isolate the facility, they first read reports of a chemical
She was like, ooh, I like this.
Ooh, I like this. Yeah, it's a cool song. I like that song. Like, it's one of those easy songs to learn how to play. It's so catchy too, man. Like, I just love it.
That one, and Stella was a driver. She was always down to like that.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I wish Chimera was just a little bit longer. I wish the song was a little bit longer.
Yeah. Smear by Interpol. It's looking when we call it Smear.
Fucking Mark.
Fucking Mark. Oh, her songs are...
Samir or something. I was like, what? You mean come here? Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, what do you know? What do you mean, whatever? Over here. Just stealing resources. I feel like there's a lot of these things in this game that are just pointless to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's just a lot of things in this game that could have just been so much. Like, I didn't like the fact that this was open world or whatever. And I mean, I guess it's cool that the game is more of a sandbox now, where you can do funny stuff and fun. But again, like, I'm not the type of guy that does that in a game like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't really care. I prefer to have been like Metal Gear Solid 1.
Like, I liked Metal Gear's linearness because it was linear, but it was like, you know, it was a good linear because it was more storytelling.
People think when games are linear, they instantly kind of think it's a bad thing. Not necessarily. It's not always a bad thing. Just because the game's linear doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly. Like, this game... That's what I don't like about games nowadays. Like they're open world and whatever, right? But there's an open world of absolutely nothing to do.
Yeah, like the Watch Dogs game where you can do a lot of stuff, but it's kind of boring afterwards.
Like, oh, you can explore this whole area, but once you go through the whole area, there's nothing to explore anymore.
Yeah, there's not much.
Like in this game, like you're in Afghanistan and you're in Africa, but like there's nothing there. There's nothing to find.
Yeah, after a while, you just kind of run.
Yeah, it's like there's no, not like in well, for example, like in Grand Theft Auto, a game known to be open world, but there's things to discover, but like there's still things like Easter eggs. There's like things to do. You can interact more with the environment, but in a game like this, you can't really like, you can't really do anything.
We're just kind of running around collecting tanks for whatever the fuck. Collecting materials.
Exactly. It's just like, what's the point?
Yeah, so... I don't know. Like, they might as well have just made it like linear going. And maybe you could just walk around like fucking little base you got.
Make contact with Skullface. Head for the silo at the facility's northernmost point.
I like how there's things you can do in this game. There are more, like, I like how there's a lot of more realism. Like, for example, like if you shine a laser at a dude for too long and they notice it, they're like, oh shit, it's a laser on me. But I think that was kind of cool. I like how there's like certain things you can do to, you can kind of interact with some stuff. But like other than that, like, I just feel like there's too much stuff missing in this game.
Yeah. They didn't get the time that they wanted to finish it. That sucks. Game could have been better. Nowadays it keeps like it keeps taking longer, taking less minutes. Sometimes we'll say 19, sometimes we'll say 13 minutes. Kinda weird. It's Friday night. What do you guys doing playing games? It's 1:15. People drive crazy. I'm driving down 90 today after school, and like this little
I got caught.
fucking.
Damn it.
You got caught. Ooh,
Fuck.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
I don't know, like I feel like there's just not enough things to do in this game. Like I don't really like this game because it took too many cues from Peace Walker, and I fucking hate Peace Walker. I fucking hate that game. That game was trash. So boring and gay. Like I don't like the fact that you have your own base and your own little dudes. Like I hate that shit.
Why?
Cause like I don't care. Like what the fuck do I want that for?
You got your own. You
have your own dudes developing your own to develop weapons for you. Like I don't fucking care. There's weapons in this game that I would never touch because I don't care. It's like
that's true.
All I really use is a sniper rifle, and everything's suppressed. That's all I need.
Dude,
give me a rifle.
That's what I was saying. Like you don't even need like any of the cool guns. Just use the little suppressor guns.
And then for example, for example, like mines and like claymores and certain grenades. Like I don't even use most of that stuff. And what I liked about the original Metal Gear game is that you were kind of forced to use them in certain situations.
Yeah.
For example, like in this game you have like Stinger missiles or whatever the fuck, right? But I'm never gonna use those things. Like I avoid trying to blow up any of like the fucking helicopters or vehicles. I kind of just go around things and I shoot the dudes. You know, I don't really go in guns blazing. But you know, in the other games, for example, in the first game, you had to use a Stinger missile. No, sorry, the Nikita missile to control the remote control missile. To get past the electric, like, floor. You had to blow up one of the electric, like, the power generator with a Nikita missile to get through the area. And, like, you're kind of forced to use it. And, like, some people don't like the fact that they're forced to use things, but what I think was cool was the fact that, you know, that was the only time we really use it, you know? And, like, that was fine with me. Like, why would I want to use a remote control missile against an enemy? Like, stupid. I'm just gonna make a big explosion and make, you know, I felt like the stealth in other games was more, you know, it made more sense. Not like in this game, stealth was, you know, just doesn't even matter in this game.
It's just not even a thing, right?
I feel like, stealth isn't even a thing anymore in this game. Like, you can go through it. I mean, I think the only thing that's more Metal Gear-ish to me, like the only thing that came out of this game that was really Metal Gear-y, was when you do the FOB mission, when you infiltrate someone else's base, and you have to go through it and capture it. Like, it's really Metal Gear-ish there, because you're trying not to get caught by the enemies, and the enemies are really, really fucking hard.
Yeah, and they actually can kill you if they catch you.
Yeah, and like, there's like little drones, like it reminds me a lot of like the big shell from Metal Gear Solid 2. It's so similar, you know. But when you're going through this game and you're running around in Afghanistan or you're running around in Africa, it's like whatever. You can go through the whole area however you want.
You get like you have like a little buddy, a little dog. You have quiet shooting dogs.
Yeah, and then you have like buddies. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
You just made the game easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I also like, you don't even have like a health bar or anything. Not like in the past ones. You had
Yeah,
health
no,
bar.
you don't even need rations in this game. It's just like,
Yeah.
I miss that. Like, I miss
Yeah.
having to
So,
save a ration for boss fights and stuff like that, you know?
that's kind of, yeah, it's kind of the thing with a lot of modern games, like, they kind of, you automatically, like, just heal. And I get that for, like online games, like, FPSs or whatever, but, I don't know, it kind of makes me miss the, like, the old games, how you always had to get health kits or something. Uh,
But yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch of stuff in this game that are just it's just completely pointless.
yeah. Like, they didn't... I like the Metal Gear and Silent personnel. That was cool.
You mean prototype Rex?
Prototype Rex basically. It's weird because it was able to
Walk and have
on
like a fucking whip sword thing, like
Yeah.
so much better.
fucking yeah.
That's why
It's
one thing I
like-
didn't like either, dude. And Peace Walker was fucking notorious for that.
What the Metal Gear?
Boss, get down. The enemy's
Like
sniper.
they're notorious
Stay low and
for
crawl
fucking
along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
like making too many Metal Gears.
Oh yeah.
Like you had like all these different Metal Gears, all this stupid shit for no reason. Like you had these flying ones.
I don't know. I thought that was like Metal Gears, but then again, I just like
But there was just too many to
just like
fight.
nuts.
Like, you know, one thing about
Yeah.
me, dude, like, it's like this. The Metal Gear is supposed to be this big boss, you know, like this,
Oh.
I mean, the name is fucking Metal Gear, you know, like, the game is
Yeah,
supposed to be like, oh, the final,
centered around the
yeah, and centered around one Metal Gear, or like, you know, it's like the big boss, you know, like, it's like,
basically.
this is what you go through this game and all the difficulty, and you have to fight this final boss. It's a giant robot, you know. But when you throw a bunch of them in there, it's just like they don't mean anything anymore. The
That's
Metal
true.
Gears mean nothing anymore. It's just like, oh, okay, well, here's another Metal Gear, great. You know,
Isn't Metal Gear 2 like you had to fight 3 Metal Gears?
In Metal Gear 2? No, you had to fight like a fuck
Yeah.
ton of them. But they were Metal
Like,
Gear
it's-
Rays. They were Metal Gear
Yeah,
Rays.
Metal
It was the same Metal Gear, so like it doesn't really, it's not really the same.
yeah.
But then again, Metal Gear Solid 2 wasn't even that good. It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Metal Gear Solid 2 was better than this game in so
Yeah.
many levels. It's still
I mean,
held its ground in certain things, you know.
Metal Gear Solid 1, you just fought one Metal Gear. That was Metal Gear Rex. I
Yeah,
think Metal Gear Rex is like the best.
yeah. Metal Gear Rex is probably my favorite Metal Gear
Yeah.
from all the Metal Gears there's been.
Yeah. I think Ray's over-designed.
Well, that was the whole thing, that Ray was supposed to be the most advanced Metal Gear ever made.
Yeah, it was. And I think it was supposed to like take out the Rex one. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4, you get to play as a Metal Gear Rex.
Fuck, I got caught again.
Damn.
But nah, dude, like, that's what I didn't like about Peace Walker. Because when I went through Peace Walker, I beat the game and everything. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't like the new mechanics on how they control. Like, I thought that you can, like, you know, you can move, you can walk while you're kind of like you can crouch and walk. You know, that was kind of cool. Like, that was cool and all.
Yeah.
Because Metal Gear Solid 4, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 was a masterpiece, dude. That shit was perfect.
Yeah.
That's how it should have been forever. Like, I think they should have just kept going
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the
Because it
top.
had the same controls as Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, like, but it still had some elements
The research facility Emmerich was talking about is
of
north.
some of the
Yeah.
weapons, and you know, and the fact that you can buy weapons and whatever. But then, you know, using weapons in that game made more sense, you know? There wasn't an overabundance of fucking weapons, you know? There was a good amount, you know, different, like, submachine gun, but they were all kind of different, and they all just fit your certain playstyle. If you're really stealthy, you'd use a lot of the shotgun stuff, but the stun version of it, you know?
Be careful down there, boss.
Soviet soldiers in that area are all dead. Apparently XOF unleashed the Russian parasite strain. They were like slugs that were like,
isolate the facility,
you know,
spread reports
knock
of a chemical
an
weapon
enemy down.
The infection won't spread into the surrounding regions.
And then they had different, like they had like the boss version. Like you had, like you know, there's different bosses. Like there's like a crying wolf, laughing octopus, and like they had emotions, and they had like this certain emotion, like tranquilizer rounds or certain, you know, like if you trank them, instead of them going to sleep, they just go crazy, or they start laughing, or they start crying. And like that was kind of the fun thing, you know, that was kind of funny. Because it's just like, oh, you don't have to make them go to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of saved time, like, you know, when they go crazy, they'll fight against the other enemy. And that was kind of cool. And like they try to implement, you know, they had the PMCs and they had the rebels. And the rebels were like, if you did good by them, they'll help you. And if you killed them, they're like another set of enemies you had to worry about, you know. And I thought that was kind of cool. And I think they should have just went a little bit further with that. For example, like there's the PMCs, you can do that with the PMCs and you can help them. And they would let you pass by in certain places. But I mean, I guess you couldn't because they're the main enemy. It's like, whatever. And then the boss fights are amazing. They're beautiful.
Pretty cool.
They were just reenactments of, like, they were just not reskins, but they were like, they paid homage to the old boss fights from the first game, and the second game, and the third game. You know, there's like that. For example, like Laughing Octopus, you fight her in a house, and the rooms are kind of set up like she turns invisible or she camouflages and stuff. And you know, the only person that used to turn invisible in the first game was Cyborg Ninja, and like the way the room is set up is like the Cyborg Ninja fight. And then it's kind of like she blends in with everything, so it's kind of like the fear from the third game, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool, you know. I thought that was like, hey, you know. And that's one thing that the Metal Gear games are notorious for, that they redid things. For example, the second game was literally the first game. It was like a almost copy and paste. But if you look at the boss fights, dude, every game has similar boss fights.
Oh really?
Like the Fat Man fight is kind of like is set up like the Vulcan Raven fight, like the way you fight him in this like there's multiple ways you can cover. And like it's a circular or like a square room and like a square platform, and there's like cover bin, like there's like canisters that you can cover behind them, you know, it's like that. And then you fight. I remember in the third game, you fight the end, and he's a sniper. I mean, that's like fighting Sniper Wolf again. In the second game, it was like, you know, you didn't really fight a sniper in the second game.
Oh. I like how the name was just the end. Like, the end. Yeah, I don't know.
I just thought that was kind of cool. I like the fact that, I mean, the second game boss fights weren't very memorable. I mean, like, the one memorable fight was probably, you know, Vamp, because it was such a long fight, you know. Fortune wasn't so, you know, that was kind of like the Ocelot fight in the third game. It was just, you know, head on, it was whatever.
Yeah. I love reloading. You know, I love reloading during the battles.
Yeah. But the third game, dude, the third game did it right. I think they should have stayed with the third game and the fourth game's formula. And it would have made so much fun.
So let's talk about Star Wars. What do you think of the new subtitle for the episode 8?
Oh, the Last Jedi or whatever. Oh, I don't know, dude. Like,
yeah, that's like crazy.
it's not nothing special.
Let's see. People, I kind of speculate that maybe Luke's gonna die, kind of like how Yoda died in Episode 5.
I think he's gonna die like Obi-Wan style.
Yeah, probably Obi-Wan. I hope they don't make it like too obvious, I guess. Like, I hope it's.
Oh, well, I hope he doesn't die exactly like Obi-Wan does, you know.
Or Yoda.
Like, I want him to die like, you know, fuck, he died, you know. Or maybe he won't
like,
die, you know. Maybe he'll stay alive.
But yeah, more than likely probably won't even die. Think about it. It was so weird. Mark Hamill didn't even like get a word in the 7th movie. He's just there at the end. You know? Have you seen him before? He was even in the new Star Wars.
What do you mean?
Like, he used to be like fat before Episode 7, and then he got in shape for that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was only there at the end. It's like, you sleepy.
I'm trying to, like, trank these dudes, man. Boy, I'm sure you hope this game will take too long updating and still updating. Fucking really?
Yeah, no. It's fine though. I don't stream today. I'll stream early tomorrow or something. You both stream. Because today I had school.
Got through. Kinda got through this area without getting caught. Now. Get it. Fuck. Okay.
Good work. 2 more gates to go. Still quiet at the silo. No sign of Skullface or his Goliath.
Now he's driving back home today.
Right.
Never mind.
Yeah, on 90. Like, fucking, this guy was driving like fucking crazy, dude. He was like weaving around traffic. And I was on like the, you know how there's 3 lanes, right? I was like on the right lane.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's this big minivan in front of me. This dude, like, he gets in front of me, and then like he gets on the side of like the road to get in front of that minivan. Like, he doesn't even go through like the middle lane. He gets on the side lane, like well, not even the lane, like on the side of the road, like outside the lane.
Wow.
The fucking
On the E lane, on the emergency lane.
Yeah, the emergency lane. To fucking pass this minivan. Dude, it was weird.
I mean, I've done that before. I mean, that's only when, like, traffic is barely even fucking moving, and I'm like, really in a hurry?
Yeah. I mean, he must have been in a hurry, but it was already, like, I mean, the traffic was still moving, wasn't even, like, slow.
Oh, I finally went out to eat with Mary Kate.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Like I hoped it would be. But, no, it was kind of just because, it was my birthday. And it was kind of like, I think it was more like a pity dinner, like a pity lunch.
Pity.
We went to BJ's Steakhouse.
Oh, BJ's. Yeah, by, Sugarland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like, that's pretty cool. I mean, I had like the steak crust pizza there, but I didn't really have any steaks. I think most people would have tried to get. But other than that, like, I thought, you know, it was nice and great and whatever. And I just, I was, you know, dressed nice, kind of. Like, not like in a suit, but like I was wearing a, you know,
Kinda,
my shirt, had a dress shirt on with like suspenders and a bow tie. But like, not because I was gonna go out and eat.
Yeah.
Because I just dressed like that day, and it was just fitting. And I was like, oh, how obvious. Or how, no, not obvious. What a coincidence, right?
You would've...
How convenient. But, no, dude, like, when I got there, like, we talked about school and work and whatever, but we didn't really, like, bond on anything. We didn't really talk like I wanted to talk and get to know her. It wasn't like that. It was more like, how's school? Work.
Oh, Lord. Just really formal and not really having fun.
Yeah, and like, like I said, I still kind of felt like poopies because it didn't mean anything, you know? And the fact that I was waiting since like late October, dude, just to even go out and meet someone like her, it's just kind of, you know, it's just kind of a letdown.
Yeah, it's pretty big letdown. Yeah, it's...
And it was weird because like her friends were there or something.
Oh, really?
And like the first thing she says when she's like, before we leave, she's like, oh, I want you to go meet her. And I was like, okay, sure. And I went to go meet her. And the first thing that her friend says, she's like, oh, hi, I'm Stella, blah, 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 whatever, right? And Mary Kate's all like, oh, you know.
He's going too. Roger that.
Fucking, she's all like, oh, like, this is like my ex-girlfriend. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay.
That's kind of awkward now. That's
right, but
super
like,
awkward.
but I'm all like, I don't want to know that. Like, I don't want to know these things.
Oh
like,
my god.
Yeah, dude. And it was kind of like a pain. Like, it was already like, I was already annoyed because I was just like,
Yeah.
great. So now,
Just like, oh, kind of ruined my whole thing. That is mighty unfortunate. Yeah, and like, that's weird. Like, she just tells me to go meet her friend. She's like, oh, this is my ex-girlfriend.
Like I don't. But and then her like Stella or her friend was all like kind of like she kind of wanted to contradict that what she said in a way. She was like, oh, well, like yeah, we just had like a thing in high school, and I was like, okay.
Whoa. Just had like a phase in high school kind of thing.
But she's like married her now or something, and like she had her husband, I guess, or whatever the fuck is in like the military.
What? Fucking, how old is fucking Stella? She's like her 20s, right?
You're in the enemy's
Chick
headquarters.
must be
Something's wrong.
in her 20s.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is, I guess. I mean, I didn't want to ask. I was just like,
Just, and did you like? Okay, did you drove to her house and then you drove her to BJ's?
No. I got out of class and I just drove all the way over there. She was already there. But dude, and like, and the same one thing that really like ticked me off in a way was her constant talk about how tired she was and how ready she was to go home and sleep. Like I felt like she was kind of just rushing me to get out of there, you know? Like she was like, okay, and that's what I say. It was like a pity dinner or a pity lunch.
Yeah,
sorry. I keep saying dinner. Pity lunch, because it was just like, if it wasn't my birthday that week or it wasn't my birthday week or whatever, then I wouldn't have gone to eat, you know? She kind of just did it because like she felt like bad.
It's so bad.
I mean, I'm not, you know, fucking crying about it. I'm just kind of annoyed like that, you know? Yeah. Shouldn't have had.
Yeah, dude. Just fucking...
And, you know, like, I was really excited, you know, I was just like, oh, I'm driving my car, I was like, fucking finally, right?
Yeah, I can imagine, because you were talking about it a lot, and I was like, oh, I hope this really works out for you, and I hope she really, like, you know, you actually get to go out with her, because you know, you did all this stuff with her, and you helped her, it seemed like she might have liked you too, but I feel like as soon as she said, oh, come meet my friend too, you know, she doesn't want to be there alone with you, was her friend already there?
Yeah, her friend had walked in and like we were already like ordering stuff and like she's like, oh, my friend's here, I'll be back, I'm gonna talk to her real quick. And I kind of said, I was like, alright. Then she went to the restroom and then she came back and we ate and talked. But it was like, I don't know, dude, it was kind of annoying.
Yeah, it was very annoying. It's just...
Very unfortunate.
I feel like I've been saying that a lot too lately. That's unfortunate.
Fortunate.org.
Yeah, unfortunate. That orientation.
But yeah, dude, you know, it's funny because I'm talking about this on the stream.
Yeah.
And I can care less about anybody's career anyways. I can care less about But moral of the story is, dude, I just wish, sometimes I kind of question why things like this always happen.
Yeah,
like I just, yeah, I wish she was a little bit more straight with me. If you don't want to talk to me or whatever, if you don't want to say anything, because then I'm just thinking, and you know, like, you know, people watching this are gonna be like, oh, we just can't take a hint, bro. And I'm like, it's not even that. It's like,
no, it's not even that.
I don't want to take hints.
Yeah. Fucking, I wish I could just fucking. Oh, I mean, I guess it's just fucking. I don't know. Take a hint, she doesn't look you,
dude. Yeah, like, it's just one of those things, bro. It's just like, really?
Yeah, that's right.
Boss, that's a serious injury.
Fucking dead. Fuck.
And everything.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Everything that's going wrong just keeps going wrong.
But yeah, dude, like, I mean, whatever, I guess.
Make contact with Skullface. Head for the silo at the facility's northernmost point.
So you think you're just gonna cut off ties with her?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to, dude. Because I'm not the type of guy that likes to cut off ties that easily. You know?
That's true.
Because, I mean, I'm over here hanging on a chance that might not even come. You know?
Yeah.
And, like, that's kind of like
you're
the
through
line.
the second gate. Only one gate left. From here on in,
That's true.
you're in the enemy's headquarters. Something's wrong.
I mean, you wouldn't just want to just stop fighting each other. I think most guys probably would just be like...
Oh yeah, most people would have been like super gone by now, but...
Yeah, super gone.
And then everybody tells me that. Everybody tells me like, oh, you know, why are you still fucking trying? If I were you, I would be gone.
XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close.
People have different ways of dealing with it.
It's just, you know, I don't know, man. It's whatever, dude. Honestly,
yeah, that's what's...
I mean, I guess. I mean, I still kind of appreciated that she went about her way.
Yeah, that's what she said and everything. I don't know.
But, like, I wish she just told me, you know. And it's funny because I was like, the day on my birthday, you know, I even told her, like, hey, are you busy? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go out eat and with my
Make
mom
contact with
tomorrow.
Head for the silo at the
And I'm like, oh, that's
facility's
cool.
northernmost point.
She's like, yeah, right, unaware that it's my birthday, right? So I kind of I kind of told her, I was like, oh, well, tell her I said happy birthday and tell her that it's kind of cool that I have the same that her birthday is one day before mine. And that's when she kind of realized, she was like, oh, sorry, yeah. And I was like, whatever.
Really?
You need it. You're gonna go with your mom.
Yeah.
We're not forcing you to do it.
Alright,
Yeah, 'cause I already expected, like, I was
only one gate left. From here on in.
You already expected her to just reject you straight up, just be like,
Something's wrong. But it has to be here.
yeah.
what's your zodiac?
I don't even know.
Uh,
Like,
when were you born?
January? Doesn't that make me like an Aquarius or something?
Like, Aquarius is like from January 20th to February 18th. So what?
Yeah, I was born 23rd of January.
23rd, yeah, you're an Aquarius. Your color is blue-green. I don't know. Your greatest... Not really. Just think it's fun. Your greatest overall compatibility is Gemini and Libra. Your best for marriage and partnerships is Leo. It's funny. I think it's almost done, I think. 14 minutes. It's already 12. What morning? Yeah. Supposedly 14 minutes. DMX.
Genome soldiers are a lot more advanced.
XOF has occupied the facility. Skullface must be close.
Didn't do anything, this is the first
Is it still downloading?
Yeah, I still download it. You know, I still like my English teacher though. She still seems nice. You know what she gave me today? I got there super early, and I was like only one of the two people in the class like super early. She's like, she gives me like half of her chicken sandwich. Because I forget some long story, and I was just like, yeah. I felt bad for me. It's just like, you want half of my sandwich? I was like, alright. wasn't gonna reject it, you know? It's like, I don't want to waste food, so I'll just give me half of it. She had like some long story about why she couldn't eat it. There was some story about how like she was gonna go eat with her friend or something. And I wasn't paying attention. All I heard was just, "You want this chicken?" And I just said yes. I want it. I want that chicken sandwich. I'm happy with whatever. That's all I heard.
Make contact with him and make him talk. We have to stop him before his plan is set in motion.
Super shady. Oh, did you read that WikiHow article I posted? How to be pure-hearted like Goku.
Oh, yeah.
Shit's so... They posted It's so weird.
The dumbest
We
thing
can't-
ever.
It's so retarded. It read so weird too. I was like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna read it on stream, on your stream. So anybody's watching, you're in for it now. How to get over an anime addiction? That's my favorite. It's like,
Just,
how to act more like Shinji from Evangelion. You ever seen Evangelion?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's one that how to act like Shinji from Evangelion.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird.
Hey, this is not.
In
This is
modern
on
day-
what? Was it Wiki?
Yeah, it's wikihow.com.
Wow.
It's okay. Some things it's like how to do so and so or how to, you know, some of it makes sense, but some of it's like how to pure hearted like Goku or how to act like an anime character. How to embarrass yourself in front of everyone and act like an anime character. Alright, here's how to be Goku. Number one, get rid of all evil and selfish acts in your life. Conquer the power of wrong reasons, money, or addictions that at the end harm others directly or indirectly. Whoa,
What?
dude.
The fuck?
Hey, Goku never needed money to be happy. All things he needed were added to him as long as he was still being who he was. And there's pictures of like Goku doing stuff. Be selfless and put others above yourself, dude.
What the fuck happened? Oh. What the fuck?
It's a really weird article.
I gotta exchange points.
Exchange points.
What the fuck? There's tapping noise. That's it. You ever read those like those what do you call it? Those old books, dude? They're like this weird art style called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember getting that in elementary school.
Like,
They
that's
used to
all
have
I
that
read
books.
when I was a kid, like when I was little. Like that's all I
Really?
read, dude. Yeah, like I'd always try to find it and read the ones that
Yeah.
I didn't read, like that I didn't read before.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually bought the whole series, I think, but I lost it now. But I had like the 1 through 3. I think there was like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4, I believe. Yeah.
There was just one picture of like a woman who's like a corpse.
Oh yeah, that was like
that's-
the one scariest like
Yeah.
picture in the book.
Scared the shit out of me, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
No, dude, I
But-
think it's just the stories, man. They're just so
The
crazy.
stories
dude.
too. The stories too, actually. I remember reading them. I was thinking, "Wow, dude."
Like that shit.
They let us read that shit.
Well, they banned them from schools now. Like you can't. They don't have them in schools anymore.
Wait, what? Now?
Yeah, like they're not even like part of any like library in public schools.
What?
Not even in high
crazy.
schools, bro.
Not even high school.
I was talking to a librarian here at Bush, and she was telling me like, oh yeah, they banned those books in schools.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the best place you're ever gonna find them is probably in a public library or in a college library. And I was like, wow. She's like, yeah.
Dude, I must have to find those books again.
There was this one story though, dude, that always got me, and it was
What
my,
was it?
I think my favorite story in that entire all those book series, dude, was the one about this guy who picks up a phone call. Like there's a phone, like he's like walking outside of a house, or like outside somewhere, and it's like dark, the middle of the night, and it's raining, and like he picks up the phone and he calls like his wife or something, and like the wife is like crying, and she's like, "Is this a joke or whatever?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "What the fuck?" And apparently he's been dead for like a certain amount of time. Yeah, and it was like this really crazy story, and you know what, you would think, since it impacted me the most, you would think I remember it, but like it's really hard for me to remember exactly what happened.
Some of the stories are actually really hard to remember too.
And dude, like that shit was that stuff was intense, man. I remember that shit just blowing my fucking mind.
I remember another one where it was like this guy, he had this friend, and his friend like died, and I think his friend came back to life like as a zombie.
Yeah.
Something. Dude, like fucking, I get any goosebumps now just thinking about it.
Yeah, this shit's fucked, man, right?
And you know what else? Like I'm alone in my house right now.
Oh god.
So yeah, no, my parents are just out of town for like the whole night. So it's just me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they went to go visit my grandparents at Harlingen. That's like near the border.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they're gonna come back tomorrow morning.
What?
What?
That's crazy, dude. Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking scared me now, dude. It's so bad. Yeah, it's fine.
No, but yeah, dude, like,
yeah, dude, we gotta, we should buy those books and we gotta read them and be like, man, these stories are scary to tell in the dark. Oh, they also had funny ones too. They had different sections, I remember.
Yeah, there's like the funny ones that you read just to make you feel better.
Yeah, to make you feel better.
Not so scared anymore.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Books are cool.
I think my brother's favorite was the one about the scarecrow.
I think I remember that one.
It's the one where like these guys are trying to figure out whether it was alive or not, and like one of them, one of the dudes gets murdered by a scarecrow, and the scarecrow wears the dude's like the body's like skin or something.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that
one.
Like
he skins the dude and he wears the skin and dances up out of the roof. That's just fucked up. Like what the fuck, dude?
It was fucked up, dude.
But see, the thing is, like all the stories are folklore. Like they're all like just stories around like the world or whatever. And like this guy had just went around and like just got all these fucked up stories that he read about or heard, and he put them all in one book.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, like it's fucked up, yo. And a lot of these stories are like stories that people tell, like. For example, about the one that you're talking about with the corpse, those are like stories people tell, like in like, in like bars and stuff. Or, fish taverns and shit, like out in like Ireland and places like that, where there's like dudes that work in like ports, like seaports, and they come in and they have a drink and shit in like taverns with other fishermen and stuff, and they just exchange experiences and stories. And like that's what it is. That's what those are. There's another one, dude, and I don't remember which book it was in, but there's this one story that it's trying to explain why the doors in Louisiana. There's a lot of doors, and it's true because I've been to Louisiana, like New Orleans and shit, and a bunch of other places, and you can like there's doors that are painted red. Yeah, like the doors are painted red, like a bright red. Or like a dark red, depends on what type of red it is. Like it doesn't really matter what red it is, but it's just the point is that they're painted red in some way. And in the story, it explains that back in like during I forgot what like during I guess in the 1800s, 1700s or something, in New Orleans, there was like these witches and shit, or something, and like they would possess women, and women would go out and like they'd skin themselves. But they'd skin themselves, not entirely, but they'll let their skin hang, and they'll dance around and like fucking kill people and shit.
What the hell?
And then like they'll die of all the blood loss. but the witches would like possess you and like cause you to do that.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck kind of stories are people telling each other?
Right? And then the red doors were kind of a way to protect yourself from the witches coming in and possessing you. And that was kind of like this big fucking story. And like, I remember reading that and I didn't really understand it. And then, but the story like starts to make sense. And I looked it up and I was like, oh wow. Not saying that like this is just, you know, just stories, you know, people. There's no, I don't think there's any evidence that ever happened. That women were, you know, fucking skinning themselves. But it's just the whole idea that someone would think about that, or someone would come up with that. Like, what the fuck, yo? Like, really?
Messed up and scary, and I think people just thought, like, well, I mean, it's really scary.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's super fucked up.
I mean, in all sense, yo, like, I wouldn't want to really, like, you know, go through something like that, and you know, I wouldn't really talk about that.
No, dude, fuck that.
If I ever experienced anything fucking crazy, and in reality, dude, I've experienced enough things in my life that, you know, that aren't as traumatic as some experiences for other people are. But we're talking about, like, you know, paranormal stuff, you know. I'm not talking about like a car accident or something, you know, like nothing like traumatic.
Oh really?
Like that. I'm talking about like, you know, me seeing things or, and you know, it's okay for me to talk about them because they're not as bad. They're not these super fucking crazy like, oh, I'm fucked up in the head because of that. No. You know, there's people out there that I've met that are really, you know, they've changed their whole outlook on life and the way they talk or the way they act because they've seen something or done something. And for me, like, going to my uncle's house in North Carolina, he lives in a town, it's Asheville.
Asheville?
Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina. Most people say, oh, don't you mean Nashville, Tennessee? And like, no. Asheville, North Carolina. So, it's like an older, like, kind of very, it's like a very,
very old
colonial looking area.
Colonial era. Yeah.
Like, when you go around the buildings, you can see the very colonial-ish kind of building structures and stuff like that. And it's a small town, bunch of hipsters and shit everywhere. It's kind of like going to Austin. But it's like, there's lots of mountains, and like the city, or like the buildings and whatever, the towns are all kind of just built upon these mountains. And there's a big chateau in the side, and it's called, I forget what it's called, but it's like this super big ass mansion that was owned by some guy that like owned some mining company or something that was there, that Asheville is famous for. Like, I forgot what ore or what they were famous for there, but they were famous for something that had mining to do. It had to do with mining. I think it was probably coal.
Yeah.
But anyways, but the town is very old, and the town kind of went through a lot of stuff, like Civil War wise. You know, a lot of like Ku Klux Klan shit went around.
Yeah.
But Asheville is known as a very paranormal, like, hot, because there's a ghost hot spot there. Like, there's a lot of places in the city that are haunted, but like ridiculously haunted.
They would
like,
say that,
not like Amityville, like, haunted.
Oh, Amityville.
But more like, you know, just, you're gonna see something, you know, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And like the courthouse there is haunted, these hospitals are haunted, even like streets are haunted.
The streets
you
themselves
know?
are just haunted.
Certain areas outside of houses are haunted, some houses are haunted, including my uncle's house. I'll get to that in a second. Even a fucking Pizza Hut, bro, is haunted.
Oh, fucking way.
A fucking Pizza Hut, dude.
Just the fucking restaurant itself?
Just a restaurant, like, there's a certain, because it was built upon different land. And people say, oh, it's because there's like, oh, they built these places on like, fucking Indian burial grounds. But like, no, it's just that it's, a lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of death. and you know, just terrible ways people died there because of war or crime.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of fucked up. And there's a fucking, like, my cousin Natalie's high school is fucking haunted. Like, and there's like this whole news report that my cousin saved on his phone or computer. And it was they recorded on VHS back in the day, back when she was still in high school. She's older now, she's like 20 something. But there was like a whole news report about a ghost sighting at the high school, and they had it on tape, and it showed like a ghost kind of just walk around. And in the morning, like early in the morning when they're opening the school, and I was like, what the fuck, yo? It's fucking crazy, yo. But anyways, my uncle's house was it's a very old house. I wish I could show you a picture of it, but I don't really have a picture of it. But the house used to be a funeral home.
Oh, really?
During like the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was a funeral home. Or you know what? I think it was a lot older than that. I think it was around since like the Civil War, or like late in the Civil War. But anyways, it used to be at first it was like a funeral home, and then it became a chapel.
A chapel.
Yeah, and then it just became a house, and people just bought it. And my uncle had bought the house. I don't know why. I don't really know. I guess it was like a cheap house or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, it must have been pretty cheap.
It must have been pretty cheap. But the area where he lives in is called Beaver Dam, right? And there's this area there, and it's just forest. And like you kind of drive up the streets, and there's other houses there. But his house is like the oldest one, and you can tell, like it's fucking old, and there's a lot of land around it. Not like like crazy land, but enough land to put like another building or like another house. But behind there is just nothing but fucking forest, dude. Just forest. All right. And if you go in the back where the house is at, like in the back area, because there's not really a front yard or back yard, like there's just land, bro. It's just land. There's no fences, there's nothing. It's just houses here, and there's all the land around it. And if you go behind there, there's like the forest, and you go into the forest, and there's like a shed. And in the shed, there's like, you know, farming tools and stuff. And next to that are tombstones. Fucking graves. Like, mass graves. Like, there's just a shit ton of graves there. Because it was a funeral home.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't necessarily a cemetery, but I guess they buried people there too. Now, you're probably asking where, you know, they'd keep the dead person in the coffin. You know, they'd leave them downstairs in the basement. They'd leave them there during, like, before they'd send them out to the cemetery. They'd leave them there, you know, the whole night. The next morning, you know, they perform. They take them to they put them in the hearse, and they put them and they send them to the, you know, the cemetery or whatever. So, you know, they'd leave the body downstairs in the basement inside of a coffin, you know, and they'd have multiple ones. So, if you go downstairs in the basement. So, like, the house, dude, when I first went to the house, I had just only heard stories about the house being haunted, because my brother used to go there a lot. My brother's really close, like, he's really close to my uncle and all that, and their family. And that part of the family. And he's really close to my cousin. So he spent a lot of time over there. And, you know, just being there, I guess, was fun for him, because, you know, he got to hang out with his cousins and playing. And he used to spend a lot of time in the summer or whatever. But anyways, he would come back from there, and we were little kids, and he'd just tell us, like, oh yeah, this place is haunted, there's super fucking crazy shit going on. But the thing about my uncle's house, dude, because the house is old and fucking ugly and whatever and creepy, because there's barely any light at night, like, outside the house. It's kind of just this ugly looking tree. But there's this weird, eerie feeling that you get the moment you kind of walk in there.
What the fuck?
Like, you feel like you're already being watched.
Yo, we need to start streaming here in a bit. Actually.
Okay, go.
Yeah,
You're gonna go ahead right now, or?
Yeah, just because like the game is started right now. I was kind of listening to the story.
Okay, well, go ahead and start your stream.
Alright. Oh wait.
We're here now.
Oh no, wait, it's still loading.
Oh no.
Alright, now we're here. Welcome to the scariest stream ever.
The scariest streams.
It's kind of spooky.
But yeah, what was that? What was that?
You're saying how when you step somewhere, you just feel like you like
so,
watch. Yeah.
We were driving from LA and we went just when we were moving over here to Texas, and from there we got home here and we left all our shit and then we got back in the car and we went to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there around this time, I would say, but over there. So, it was probably like 10 something here or 11 something. I think there's like 1 hour or 2 hours ahead. But, we got there and, you know, the whole time I'm just thinking about, in the car, the whole time we were driving there at night, I was just thinking about how haunted this place is.
And your mic's getting kind of weird for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah, I was just drinking, that's why.
Oh, okay, I was wondering. Maybe the whole thing got haunted.
But yeah, like I got to the house and I was thinking about how haunted this place was. And I met my uncle, my aunt, and I haven't seen him in like forever at the time, right? It's been like years, right? So we got in and they took our stuff and they told us we could stay in the room. And the house inside looks old, right? But it doesn't look too old because they have already not, you know, rebuilt things, but they kind of just put furniture and stuff and like whatever. It doesn't look, it just looks like a house. You walk in and it's just like a normal house. But I noticed that the stairs don't have a railing.
Oh, really?
That was kind of odd. But the moment I walked out of the car, we were walking towards the porch, because they have a porch. I felt you. I felt like, just thinking about it right now, kind of brings back the feeling that I had. Like, I remember, I was telling my brother, I was like, is there like, there's something weird about it. Like, I just feel. Be careful down there, boss. I was like 8 or 9.
Really?
I didn't really think too much of it, but I did feel it. Like, I did feel something there. You know? I feel like there was something there just watching. But then anyways, I kind of like backed away from that idea and I was like, alright, well, I'm here now, I'm tired, I'm driving all damn day. You know, hours, or a couple hours, and almost the whole day, I guess. It was probably like a 10-hour drive. But, we got there, we got inside the house, we got ready for bed, and I took a shower. And I remember my brother had told me prior, like years prior to that, he told me that the house, there's certain places in the house that are haunted. Like,
really?
Like, the whole house is haunted, right? But there's certain places where things happen, like activity, or whatever you would say. And there's a room downstairs, the bathroom is haunted. It's haunted by a little kid who
oh my god,
who died or something there. But like, not like a little kid, but it's like a kid, like a 13-year-old or 12-year-old kid or something that died there. He like suffocated or something. But because that wasn't a bathroom. Like we're talking about years before this house was even like a house. Like, these are rooms that used to be something else, you know, stuff, other rooms like, you know, maybe like a prayer room or something, you know, stuff like that. But he, you know, he died of suffocation or something there by accident. And I'm taking a shower, dude. And I kid you not. I didn't say anything or anything, but I kid you not, dude. The fact that I was thinking about that, you know, as I'm taking a shower behind the blinds, I'm just like, God, I feel like there's something standing right there. Like, I felt like there's something there already, watching me shower. And I'm just like, oh, God, right? But I kind of rushed. And the water there is, like, the faucet is kind of messed up. So, like, you have to, like, kind of figure out what's warm and what's cold.
Oh, what's cold in there?
Yeah, like, what's warm and what's cold and whatever. So, I got there, like, I got out of the shower and I was like, put my clothes on real fast. And I kind of ran into the room where we were sleeping. Now, we were sleeping in my old cousin's room. So it was just a guest room. And we all, my mom and my sister and I were sleeping on the bed because the bed was big enough. And my dad was sleeping on the couch in the room and my brother was sleeping in the chair. And it was one of those, like, lazy boy chairs. So, we went to sleep, dude, and I had the unfortunate like experience that waking up in the middle of the night.
Jeez.
And I woke up in the middle of the night, dude, and I was fucking terrified. All right, because I had to go take a piss. All right, and I was like, fuck. And
was that the worst?
Yeah. And, like, the house, dude, is fucking dark, okay? It is fucking pitch black. Like, you can even ask my sister or my parents how, like, you can ask them how fucking dark that house is, dude. You cannot see anything. The only light that you get, dude, is from turning on one of the lights. But I didn't want to do that because I want to wake up my parents. The only light you got, bro, was from, like, the TV remote and, like, the moon and some of the electronics that were there, you know? But that's it. You got no fucking light. You can't see shit, dude. You can't even see 5 feet in front of you, man. So, I kind of stumbled out of the bed to make sure I wasn't going to get up or I wasn't going to wake anybody. And I got out of bed and I opened the door very slowly. And the hallway, dude, it is so fucking dark in that hallway. Not even light, like you can't even see anything because the moon doesn't go in the window. It's fucking dark. And the first thing I see is a fucking staircase, right? And it's just nothing but a wall and just darkness. And at that moment, dude, it hit me. I was like, this is not gonna end well.
This is not gonna end.
This is very bad.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, subject is in.
Like, I got into the restroom and I turned on the light and I'm in there and I'm taking a piss. Okay, so I'm taking a piss. The fastest of pisses. Like, I'm just rushing because I did not want to look back. Because the bathroom is set up to the way where you have like this big ass open area where you're like you put your back behind. Like, you know, you have your whole back is behind the most of the bathroom. So like you already feel like there's, you know, there's too much exposure. You know, you feel like you're out in the open, taking a piss out in the forest. It's black. You know, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this piss, right? And I have this chill in the back of my spine.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, come on, come on, come on, come on. And remember, I'm a little kid, dude. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Fucking.
So, me already flushing the toilet, turning off the light, running out of the room. All right, dude. Pay attention, okay? I flushed the toilet. Okay. I turn off the light and then shut the door.
Okay.
Okay. I kid you not, dude. I kid you fucking not. When I got to the goddamn room, I heard 2 fucking steps. Like, and they have hardwood floors. Okay? So you're gonna hear the
so you
fucking
can actually
steps.
hear that shit. Yeah. Cause I have hardwood.
I turned around, dude, and I looked over the restroom, and like just thinking about it right now, I'm getting chills on my face, like on my beard. Like the door was wide open, and the light was on, and I was like, oh my god, dude. And at that very moment, I was questioning whether did I even close the door and did I even turn off the light. But I promise to God, dude, I swear to you, I fucking closed that door and that light was off when I left that fucking bathroom. Alright? And I was like, oh my god. And guess what? That fear that hit me made me have to take a piss again.
Just stressed out.
I was like, oh my god. Fuck me.
Yeah, that kind of stressed you a bit.
And I had the courage to go back in the restroom and take a piss.
Okay.
And I got left, and I just turned off the light and I ran out, and I went to the room and I went to sleep. And my mom woke up and she's like, "What are you making all this noise?" And she's like, "I was in the restroom." She's like, "Are you scared?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm scared."
Yeah.
And I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning and I woke up to like a nice breakfast for my family. And oh yeah, there's a kid in there. He kind of messes with you. And he's like, and I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, sometimes he opens the blinds when you're taking a shower. He opens up the fucking cover, the shower curtain. He opens it, and you see nothing in there. Like, you see nothing, but he opens it when you're taking a shower. Or sometimes when you're taking a piss, he puts down the fucking like the seat cover. Or sometimes, sometimes he turns on the sink or turns it off when you're brushing your teeth. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wow. But coming from my brother and coming from my uncle and like my cousins and all that, especially my cousin, because he plays on here. And I don't know if he's on. I wonder if he's on right now. Yeah. See if I can invite him in here and start talking to him. No, dude, like, they tell me that in the house, nothing happens to you, per se. Like, nothing happens to you if you're in the house with other people. When they're awake and during the daytime. Even at night, nothing really happens to you. But if you're in the house by yourself, there's a high percentage of you either seeing something or you experiencing something, like you feeling or seeing something, like, or something happening to you, like, or seeing someone.
Okay.
Now, I've only had the luck of being in the house by myself once. Without knowing. My brother, I think out of all the people in the house that lived in that house, the one person that had it the worst was my cousin Caesar.
Your cousin Caesar?
My cousin Caesar, he's the oldest. He's the second oldest cousin that I have. He's like in his 30s. He has like a kid now and all that.
Goddamn.
He's in El Salvador right now. I guess he got like deported or something. But
Oh really?
Yeah. But in his experience, he was my age in like the 80s or something. Like he was my age in the 80s, 8 years old in the 80s, and or the 90s or something. I forget. But he just coming into into the house, like when they were first moving into the house, there was an attic. And in the attic they had a TV, and there was like a little room, like another guest room. And the attic isn't necessarily like an attic where you have to pull down this fucking roof thing and there's stairs. I'm like, no. It's just a room in the bathroom upstairs in the bedroom. It's just it's like a closet. It's like a walk-in closet, but it's more of a room. And my cousins used to stay a lot of time. They, you know, after the years, they'd spend a lot of time there. And my other cousin Vidal had his Spawn, like Todd McFarlane toys in there. Like he has a big ass collection of Spawn toys in there, and like they're not open. They're just kind of there.
Oh, an unopened box.
Yeah, it's like his storage. But anyways, when they first moved there, my cousin Caesar was upstairs watching TV while my uncle and the rest of the family were like unboxing and trying to move into the house. So my cousin had spent most of the day in that room. Now, these are these old ass TVs, the ones where you have to switch the channels. And yeah, you have to switch the knobs to turn the channels, and there's like a 2-second delay. So there's just like a two seconds of just pure black screen until you get to the next channel, right?
I
so
think
he was, yeah, so he was watching TV and whatever. He was watching like cartoons or something, and there is a whole reflection behind him of the restroom, because there's the room, there's the restroom, and then there's the attic room, and he was in the attic room. Okay. Now you have the whole view because he had the door open and he has his back towards the bathroom, right? He's watching TV, he's switching to the channel, and he says, dude, I remember he was talking to me about it when I was over there with him. A lot older, obviously. He's already in his 30s by then. He was telling me about it. And he's like, yeah, I was watching TV and, you know, I got bored of whatever I was watching. I don't really remember what I was watching, but I remember that what happened to me that night, or that day. And I was watching TV and I switched the channel, and that 2-second delay on the TV gives you a black screen. You can see a reflection of everything behind you.
Everything, yeah.
And he says after like a couple of hours watching TV, he switches his channel, and he says when he switched the channel, dude, behind him he saw a woman standing in the restroom, staring like right at him.
Jesus H.
And she was wearing a nightgown. And and he said it was so vivid, dude. And he says that he hates talking about it sometimes because it fucked him up like so bad. It's not because of what he saw entirely. It's kind of what she was doing was what fucked him up. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Right?
Fuck off. Like, I'm actually fucking scared right now.
What?
Right now.
You're okay, dude. Don't worry. You're good.
Alright.
You're good.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy. How do you think I sleep at night?
It's just fucking.
He saw her standing there and wearing a nightgown, looking at him, right? And she looks like she had like wet hair, like she just got out of the shower or something. And at that first instinct that he had was that, you know, he probably thought it was his mom, but it wasn't. He knew right in the second when he saw her and what she was doing. Now, this is the fucked up part, what she was doing. You know what she was doing, dude?
What?
Her head was shifting back and forth really fast.
What the fuck?
Like some fucking Jacob's Ladder shit. Like some Silent Hill shit, bro.
That sounds like some shit.
That was some fucked up shit, dude. Some fucked up shit. And he said, you know, he was a kid, so he took it pretty hard. Like that shit was
super vivid and
fucked up, dude. And he was like, he said he shut down, like his body just like froze. And he said that his instinct was, like every time the channel would pop up, he kept like changing the channel to see the black screen to see if she was getting any closer or anything. He said after a couple minutes of him like switching the channels, she disappeared.
What?
And he said he never left that room until his uncle noticed that he was still stuck up there in the room. And my uncle went in and was like, what happened? Dad, he was like, what happened? I told my uncle was like, oh shit, you know. So years after, you know, they've experienced other things. Like my uncle used to wake up with scratches on his back and shit.
Oh,
like
that's
really
fucked up.
fucking deep scratches, like
Mhm.
almost to where like he was bleeding.
Mhm.
My cousin Natalie would speak to like at night, and she still does. Like you can hear her upstairs in her room, and she's like, "Shut the fuck up! Like, shut up! Go to
Wait,
sleep!" Like she's
wait,
talking
really?
to the ghosts, telling her to leave her alone so she can go to sleep.
What
Like
the
they've
fuck?
gotten so used to the ghosts being there that they do that. Can you believe that
Fuck
shit?
off.
Right?
No, dude, I never get
That's it's fucking crazy. It's just like, what?
Yeah, dude.
But dude, the house is fucking haunted. Like, there's something more into the house. Like, there's something dark in that house, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
this
some
is
really
fucked.
fucked up. And recently, when we went, the last time I went, when I was going to Nationals, about a year
Oh,
ago,
really?
2 years ago.
A year ago.
It was about 2 years ago. It was about 2 years ago. I went 2 or 3. I forget, dude. I forget. I'm running out. Like I don't even remember now. But 2 or 3 years ago, I went there, and my uncle had told me when we walked in, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we paid a fucking what are those called? A medium,
What? Oh, medium or
like a
someone that exercise? The
yeah,
ghost?
to kind of survey the house and like look around to see if there's anything." And she said that there's a demon in the house. Like
Oh,
there's
fuck
a
off.
dark ass like entity in the house, and he just manifests himself, or he manifests like all the deaths that have happened in the area or in that house,
Oh,
and
man.
he kind of just fucking like engulfed the house with ghosts. But
What the?
some of the ghosts are aware that they're dead and that there's a demon, and they work against the demon. Like there's ghosts
really?
that kind of are like peaceful. And
Yeah.
and they've accepted that they're dead. And
Mhm.
they've accepted that there's a demon, and they're kind of just they're helping get rid of this demon. And those ghosts are the ones that bother my cousin at night. They're the ones that are always like, hey, and most of the time they're children.
Mhm.
Or they're women, like they're like moms or something. My grandpa,
really?
before he, became paralyzed, I never really met him like, when he was talking. Like when I first met him, he was already like paralyzed and he couldn't speak. It was kind of heart like wrenching when I first met him because he was like, on a bed, looking at a TV, unable to speak or move. But he was crying because he saw me, and he saw my sister, and he met us for the first time, and he was crying because he couldn't say anything. It's fucked up. It was pretty hard. Hard on me because I could not bear see someone like that the way he was. He passed away about a couple years, like 2 or 3 years ago. Bless his soul. But he he had an experience back when he was okay. He was like sitting in the living room, and he was like taking a nap or something, and these little kids were playing with his hair and his feet.
Oh, really?
But he thought they were my like cousins or something. This is back when my cousins were little kids. He thought they were my cousins, but when he opened his eyes, there were these two little white kids, these two blonde hair, blue eye white kids.
Blonde hair, blue eye, white.
And the moment he woke up and he noticed that these kids were my cousins, were his nephews and whatever, he like jumped, and these kids like they screamed and they disappeared right in front of him.
Huh?
And he said he never, ever, ever, ever after what happened there, he'd never want to sit in that room or ever want to go into that house ever again. And I think a lot of the stuff that happens in that house when he was there, my grandpa or whatever, had something to do with the fact that he became paralyzed. I feel like that had something to do with it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, of course there was
know.
health problems and whatever, but
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I can't entirely say it was the fucking ghost's fault or whatever.
I mean, probably
But
not.
I feel like there's something that has to do with the whole demon thing. But anyways, my second most I think the only traumatic experience that I've ever had in that house. Alright, so the way this house works is the bedroom downstairs is the one we slept in is haunted by a woman. The bathroom is haunted by a kid downstairs. There's another room that's closest to the patio. It's like this big ass patio room. It's a room and there's like a patio door. And there's a patio. It's like a second story patio. And then you have the kitchen. You have the living room. And those rooms are not really like haunted per se, except the patio room.
Yeah.
Upstairs, my cousin's the most haunted room in the entire house is my cousin Natalie's bathroom.
The hell is a bathroom?
Yeah, this is the bathroom where my cousin Caesar saw that woman in the nightgown. Because that woman committed suicide in that room. She slit her wrist and she died in the tub. Yeah. Imagine these fucking people sleep in there.
Jesus,
people fucking take like baths in there. Can you fucking believe that?
Baths casually in there.
And my her room specifically is also like just really haunted by those people that bother her at night. The basement is probably the second worst place to be. I've been down there, dude. When the air conditioning goes out, they have to go downstairs in the basement to turn it on. And my cousin, or my other uncle, well, he's not necessarily my uncle, he's my aunt. So my real uncle's wife's brother, who lives there with him. His name is Ramon. He's one of like the drunky dudes. Like, he has like beer breath a lot, but he's really cool. I love that guy. And he told me to go down there with him, just to see, because he was always telling me stories about how haunted he is. Now he uses the basement as like a place where he holds all the tools when he cuts the grass or he cleans his truck.
Yeah.
So me being in here with him was okay, but dude, that basement is so fucking dark. Even in the daytime, and so creepy, bro. It's so fucking creepy. Like, you go down there, it looks like a fucking dungeon, bro.
Oh my god.
I kid you not, it looks like a fucking dungeon, alright? And there's tools everywhere, garden tools, like big ass fucking axes, scythes and shit in there. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And I was down there, and you can feel like there's something down there. There's people down there. Like, you ever felt like, you ever been like you know when you're sitting in the library and you know there's other people around you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like that. It's like that. Like, you feel that heaviness of people being there. And I can feel like there's a heaviness in your head. You start getting kind of dizzy. And my uncle was like, you can't be down here for too long. And I was like, why not? He's like, oh, because they closed the door. And I'm like, what? They closed the door on you. And the only way you can go out of that door is if someone opens it from the outside.
Oh, fuck off.
Like, they lock the door. And they keep you in there.
Fuck off with that.
Just to fuck around with you. But these ghosts fuck with you, dude. It's fucking crazy. Dude, when I was down there with my uncle, I was like, alright, Theo, I need to get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Get what you need to get. Turn on the fucking air conditioner. Let's go. He's like, why are you scared, man? You're here with me. You're here with me. You're here with me. And I was like, I just don't want to get locked in here. And he's like, yeah, you'll be alright, you'll be alright.
I'd be like, you know,
yeah,
even if that wasn't true,
I was jittery,
like, yeah, even if that wasn't true, I'd be in like a weird sense of,
even if I didn't believe in the, that shit, I'd still be,
yeah, kind of feel it, like,
fuck,
yeah, fuck, dude.
But I did get to the I got out of the basement with it, and dude, I kid you not, the door fucking closes, like slowly.
Oh, good. Yeah. Was it like a heavy door too, or was it like just regular?
No, it's the wooden door. I mean, you can see the door outside. wooden door. We can put it outside. Because the way you get to the basement is completely outside. You have to go outside and around the house and the basement. There's like wooden doors in the basement. But dude, the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me was the last time I was there. And that's why I'm kind of scared to go there sometimes. So, I had spent that night one time, or I was there by myself one time. And this was the second time I was there by myself. The first time I was there by myself, nothing really happened. I was in my cousin's room upstairs. The one room with the most conflict, playing Xbox. So
Yeah,
like, nothing really happened. Surprisingly, nothing happened.
Yeah, just
nothing fucking happened. So anyway, I'm sitting in this. I was there playing Xbox. Nothing happened. But anyways, the last time I was there, I was in the house by myself. And my mom, my dad, and my sister. They went somewhere.
oh, they're at their house.
They went, and I was there. I got bored. It was almost late at night, so I got kind of tired. I took a nap. In the patio. I went to sleep there. I looked up around 9 or something.
Nice.
And I had a sleep that my parents were on the kitchen bathroom. The kitchen light was on. And I woke up and I was like, so I woke up and got out of the bed and I opened the door and the light was on. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was part of the story. I noticed the light, like when I got up, dude, I noticed the light was on, and I kind of like wiped my face when the light was on. I was like, oh. And I called out. I called out right when I opened the door. I was kind of opening the door. I was like, yeah. And the light was on. And it turned back on. And it turned back on. But I didn't see the light turn on and off. Like, I didn't look at the actual light. It's like the bulb. I kind of just looked like the bottom of the door. Like, it was the room that I was sleeping in. Because the light was turning on and off. But it wasn't, like, really fast. And that's when I got kind of worried. I was like, wait a second. And I looked over and I opened the door and it was dark. And the light was on. And I was like, yeah. Nothing. I'm like, Dad, Mom, Dio, cousin, who, anybody? Nothing. Silent. And at this point, I'm like thinking, okay, are my parents even here? Family even home yet? Or are they still out?
Was it at 9 in the morning?
This is at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I took a nap around 5.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I woke up.
You took like a 4-hour nap.
Yeah. Pretty fucking tired.
Yeah.
So I got like into the kitchen and it was dark and I was like, what the fuck, right? And I didn't really think too much about what was going on. And I was like, okay. That's kind of crazy. I mean, I knew something fishy, like I should be thinking about. But I was like, whatever. So I closed the door and I went back to sleep. And I couldn't really sleep because then I noticed the light was turning on and off again. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is playing with the light?
Yeah, just what's going on?
Like, what the fuck's going on, dude? So my instinct was, okay, I'm gonna not be a pussy. I'm gonna go into that fucking kitchen and I'm gonna fucking turn on the light myself. So I opened the door really fast, dude, after I got up, and the light was off. And I kid you not, dude, right in front of me, there's in the kitchen. If you open that door from the patio room where I was sleeping in, right across is the laundry room, and it's like a separate room with a door. That door was wide open when I opened that fucking door, dude, right across the fucking kitchen. and there was something standing in that room looking at me.
What the hell?
Like, I couldn't really figure out whether it had a face or anything. It was just kind of like a silhouette of a person.
Yeah. The fuck?
Like, it was kind of just a silhouette. And all you can see is like this outline of a black figure. And it was just standing there super straight in the laundry room. But not even, like, I couldn't see the entire body. It was like only like one half of it. Like the left side of the body. And it was just standing there looking at me through the door. And I fucking froze. I froze. And I was like, yeah. And I slowly walked back into my room, like, and I kept looking at it. I kept looking at that fucking room. And I was trying so hard to figure out whether it was just something in the fucking laundry room, like it was like a pile of clothes or something. Nah, dude. That shit was a person. It was somebody. Something standing there. You could see like the arm and like the head and the outline of the shape of the hair. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went backwards, dude. And I closed the door. And I turned on the light of the patio room. And I remember I looked at the patio window just to make sure that it wasn't like standing there in the patio looking at me or something. And I closed the blinds and I just sat there in the fucking bed. And I texted my mom, I texted my cousin. And I was like texting him, calling him. And he picks up and he's like, what, dude? And I'm like, are you in the house? And he's like, yeah, dude, everyone's home. What's up? He's like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm downstairs. And he's like, what the fuck are you calling me for? Like, dude, it's like 9 something. Like, it's early. What the fuck are you talking about? He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, there's something in the fucking laundry room. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I think there's someone in the laundry room. And he's like what? And I'm like, well, dude, I just woke up and the light kept flicking on and off in the kitchen and I thought it was your fucking mom. And he's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, I opened the door and it was pitch black and I saw something in the fucking laundry room and it was just kind of standing there looking at me. It was like a shadow, dude. Like just this black figure. And he's like, oh, jeez. And I'm like, what? And he's like, okay. Stay in the room. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna go wake up your uncle. And I'm like, okay.
What?
He wakes up my uncle and I can hear him coming down the stairs and they turn on the light in the kitchen. And you're like, mijo. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what's up? What'd you see? And I'm like, I open the door of the patio of that room into the kitchen again. And I'm standing there with my uncle and my cousin, and they're like in their pajamas and shit. My uncle's not wearing a shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
They're just going to sleep. And I was like, yo, Theo, I saw something in the fucking laundry room. He's like, what'd you see? And I'm like, it's just a shadow. He's like, well, what were you doing in the kitchen? And I was like, well, I woke up from that nap because I remember you guys were out somewhere. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I woke up and I saw something because I saw that the light was kept flashing on and off when under the door. Like I could see the light under the door. And he's like, And it's like the light kept going on and off. And he's like, oh shit. And he's like, and he has an accent. So he's like, oh shit, man. And he gave Eastis or something, whatever. And I'm like, oh well, I was looking in the laundry room right there where you're standing, Theo, right behind you. And you see how the door's open. He's like, yeah, the door's open. There's nothing in here. He turns on the light. He's like, there's nothing in here. No hay nada aquí dentro. And I'm like, Theo, I'm telling you, there was something standing right there looking at me. I'm not lying to you. If I was lying to you, I wouldn't fucking, I wouldn't have called you that to tell you.
Yeah. Fucking all that.
He's like, well, what'd you see? Like, did it have a face? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it was just black darkness, shadow. It was just darker than whatever was there. And he's like, shit. Okay, well, he's like, just go back to sleep. I'll leave the lights on there. And I was fuck. And I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning. And that was it, but like, dude, that shit was scary, man. Like, that shit was fucking scary, dude. That house, there's something, dude. There's something going on in that fucking house.
I can't believe they're fucking still in there, too.
Yeah, that's reckless. That's fucking still there.
Dude, that's awful, actually, you know, my dad, when he was my age or younger, I think in whatever apartment or place that he lived in, like, it was actually like haunted. Like, he would just sit down, like he would just be in the house alone, but like he'd hear the front door like open. Like, you know how you hear like front door open and close, right?
Yeah.
You would just hear that or feel that, and he thought like, you know, maybe someone was coming in, but he'd walk out and there's like no one there. He'd hear like footsteps, and like fucking, like nothing really happened, like nothing really, like he didn't see anything, he heard footsteps a lot, like he'd be alone in the house doing whatever, and he'd hear footsteps outside of his room, and it was mainly like, that's what he mostly told me. And then he told me once he went to go do like a job site somewhere for a lady, but she and her husband said that a lot of people there were like going in there or something. And I think when he goes to spend the night there, because it was far away from here, from, you know, here, I don't know where it was, I forget, he just said it was like far. When he tried to like turn on the light, like he felt something like actually poke like his finger as he flicked on, as he like, when he got turned on the light. And he said that, I think he said he was actually bleeding. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. And yeah, well, that's kind of all he really told me. Cause the night after, he just said that he was just gonna go sleep in a like motel room, like he was gonna sleep there. He was just like, fuck it, I'm not sleeping there. And I think once, just, I don't know, it was just my imagination once when I was a little kid, and we went to like Harlingen, you know, where my grandparents kind of live and the rest of my family. And I told you, my parents just went there today. We stayed in a La Quinta motel, and I was like a little kid, and me and my mom bought me like this Pokemon game, and I played it like kind of like most of the day. But then when we all went to sleep, like I swear to God, I could just like, I still heard like the music from that game. I don't know why. And my sister said like, what?
Oh, no, you continue. You have something to tell you about that.
Yeah, well, you know, I still heard the fucking, I swear to God, like it was dead night, and I still hear music, and I asked my sister was cool, like too, and I was like, you hear that too? And she's like, yeah, it's like someone's playing Pokemon, and I eventually fell asleep, but still, it was kind of weird. That's the weirdest I've ever heard anything. Hey, what were you gonna say?
No, there's something similar to that. I have a problem when I play a game for too long. Or like any game, doesn't matter. And I go to bed and I go to sleep. I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, and I find it, like I kind of wake up and I go back to sleep, or I try to go back to sleep. But as I'm trying to close my eyes and I'm closing my eyes and trying to sleep, I keep thinking about the game or whatever, to where it keeps me from sleeping. Like I keep thinking about whatever I'm doing. Like I can have a whole, like I can play. That's why I don't like playing games a lot, because for too long, because I overthink about the game when I'm asleep or something, and like I start to play the game in my mind. You know, and like that's why people tell you not to do something for too long, because then you start thinking about it too much. No, but
yeah, that's true.
There was a house that my uncle used to take care of in North Carolina, and it was a fucked up house, dude. And it was also And my mom had picked up these benches from there. And you know those white benches in front of my house?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
Doorway? Yeah, those two white benches? Yeah, those are from my house. So,
What?
yeah. Ever since my mom has gotten those benches, dude, weird stuff has happened in this house. Not like anything ghostly per se, like I've not seen anything. But
I think weird with this.
But like I feel like something has followed us all the way through like our lives from the house because of those fucking benches. So the reason why I say that was one night me and my brother woke up at exactly the same time. Okay? So we already thought there was something weird about that. So I woke up and I was like, fuck, right? I got out of bed and I opened the door. My brother was like right there and we both bumped our heads. Like, fuck, ow. Right? I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, you're awake? And he's like, yeah, dude, why are you awake? And I'm like, I go to the piss. And he's like, oh, you first. And I'm like, alright. And he takes a piss. And I wait for him. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he was like, why'd you wake up? I'm like, I just need to take a piss. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, go back to sleep. I'm like, yeah. Like, hold on, just touch the fucking
Alright. How is Camille?
huh?
How is Camille, by the way? She's still with her ex or something?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But, anyways, so, we were going back out of the restaurant after we talked for a little bit for like a second of us being like awake or whatever. We heard crying. Like we heard a very distinctive crying voice. Like someone was really crying about something. So the first instinct we got was, it must be my sister. So we went to my sister's room, the room I'm in right now, and there's my sister's fucking dead ass asleep, fucking snoring almost, right? Super asleep, knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
slump. Z's coming out of her head, you know. Right? She's fucking gone.
Actual Z's.
And then we can still hear this crying, but we can hear that it's downstairs. And we're like, what the fuck? I mean, me and my brother were like, whoa, what the hell? We said that the moment we figured out that it wasn't my sister. We went downstairs and we thought it was my mom. So we went downstairs, and at this point it was really strong. Like we couldn't tell what direction it was coming from because we were so disoriented because it was like in the middle of the night. Yeah. And we were like fucking tired. And we knocked at my door, at my mom's door, and my dad opened the door and he's like, what? And I'm like, you hear that? And he's like, yeah. Well, who is that? And I'm like, he's like, is that on that now? I'm like, no, that's not Serena. Me and Kevin just woke up together. We went to go use the restroom. And he's like, and we heard crying just now. And he's like, crying right now. I'm like, yeah, that's what I hear. And he's like, you know, like, is that mom? And he's like, no, of course not. She's asleep. And he's like, what the and my dad got kind of worried. He's like, who the fuck is crying? Like, what the fuck is that noise?
Wait, you guys don't know where it was coming from?
We couldn't tell, but it stopped for a second. Like, we turned on the light in the kitchen, and we started looking around the house to see if there's anybody in the house. And we saw nothing. Right? And then it went back up. It, like, we heard the crying again. So, once we heard the crying again, we heard it that it was coming from our backyard.
Your backyard?
Our backyard. So me, my dad, and my brother, the three of us, we open the door to the backyard and we walk out, dude. And we're standing right in front of the hammock, and there's just the loudest crying I've ever heard right there in front of us. And we're like, what the fuck? Dude? My brother was like, me and my brother were freaked out. My dad was just fucking confused. But we were just like, what the fuck? And it was so loud, dude. And there's a part where she was like, like that. She did like this weird like gasp noise, and it stopped.
Yeah.
It stopped, like, completely.
It just stopped. What?
And then me and my dad, like, and my brother, we all looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck just happened? And this was not too long ago. It was about a year ago.
It was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, when did that happen?
It was about a year ago, yeah. Or about a year, no, actually not 2 years ago, because my brother was here 2 years ago. So it was 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years.
And this is before what happened to me and fucking, you know, at what do you call it? My cousin, or my uncle, my uncle's house, the fucking ghost or whatever, the shadow.
Oh,
So, as I'm sitting there, you know, with my dad and my brother, we're like, what the fuck, right? So we go back into the house and we went to bed and we completely fucking ignored what just happened because we were too fucking tired to care.
What time was it?
It was like 3 in the morning, dude.
3 in the morning, fuck.
So,
damn, dude.
We got there and we got to our beds and we went to bed.
Damn, you didn't hear it for the rest of the...
Yeah, we didn't hear it. We just woke up in the morning and kind of just talked about it for a little bit, but other than that, that was it. It was over. Not until a couple months after that, my brother was at work, my mom and my dad were asleep. They were downstairs watching TV. And, like, my window was open because it was really fucking hot. Do you remember the air conditioning was broken? We couldn't do the air conditioning, so we had the window open.
Yeah.
And I was listening, I was just, you know, going to sleep, and I could hear the crickets outside. And I heard the crying again. And I recognized it. I was like, what does that mean?
What the fuck? Damn, dude.
And I was like, what the fuck is that crying? But it wasn't coming from my backyard. It was coming from my fucking window, like right downstairs, like right outside of the window.
It's coming from your window.
Yeah. But the smaller one, not the big ass one, but the one that was really small. And I was like, fuck. What is that noise? And I was like, oh shit, it's that fucking thing again. And I was like, yeah, fuck that, dude. But other than that, like, my mom and my dad had experienced stuff outside my house.
Saw footprints.
Like, they saw wet footprints, like baby footprints.
Boss, that's a suit.